G'day guys and girls, welcome back to the channel. In this one we're going to take the Mountune badges off and put the Revo badges on. Once the Mountune badges are off, these are what's going on. This is the new Revo Stage 2 badging kit. Huge thank you to MJ Performance in Plymouth in England for sourcing these for me quickly and being able to ship them. Revo Australia are having some issues waiting on a shipment. Turns out it was a bit irrelevant because I've got these months ago now. But a very big thank you to Martin down at MJ Performance. And we'll also be replacing the front and rear gel badge inlays from DMB UK. You'll see soon which ones are on there. These ones, as you can see, the black and red, are more in line with the Revo colours. Let's get into it. The first step's going to be to wash this whole area here, make sure it's nice and clean, because when we get underneath the Mountune badge with some dental floss, you don't want to be scraping any grit underneath it or over your paint. I'm going to get onto it with a hairdryer, both of these. I'm going to try and peel this one off with a pair of tweezers or something, and yeah, this one, like I said, we'll saw it off with a bit of dental floss and then see what the damage is underneath and how we're going to repair it. With the area clean, I just use car wash, a noodle mitt and a detailing brush just to get any fine dust out. We're now going to apply some heat. I'm using my wife's hairdryer, sorry. If you've got a heat gun, you can use a heat gun. The idea is that you want to heat up the badge until the adhesive behind it becomes soft. I mean, that's pretty solid on there at the moment. You want to be able to have some movement in that badge before you get to it with the dental floss. This will be impossible to film with two hands, but you can see, hopefully, there's quite a bit of movement in that now. So I'm going to get a long piece of dental floss and I'm just going to do a sawing action all the way the length of the badge and pull off as much of the adhesive as I can in that process. Great success! So now I think basically all we need to do now to get the remainder of this adhesive pad off is to heat it up again, and then you can just pick at it, and hopefully most of it will come off and make the finishing process a lot easier. At this point it's a matter of just heating it up and just trying to pick at it bit by bit. It's really fiddly, really tough, and the panel's getting hot, so to get the adhesion, to get the adhesive pad that warm to be able to pick just that much off, the panel's actually quite hot to touch, and this badge is getting hot too. So you just got to be careful, do it bit by bit. Well, that's a good one. It's your keeper. After getting most of the pad off, you still get the residue. So even though the car's ceramic coated, I don't know what other choice I have other than to hit it with some intensive tar remover. I will just dab it on very delicately around where I need it to be, and I'll have the hose on hand so that I can dilute it and rinse it off straight away, just so it doesn't damage the coat. The process now is I've dabbed a little bit of that onto here. I'm just going to dab it around where the residue is. And then I'm going to leave that for a little bit. You can see it's starting to work already. But I'll leave that on there just for a little bit, and then I'll rinse it off and I'll go again, just to try and look after the paint around it. After 2 rounds of dabbing the Auto Glim Intensive Tar Remover on, there's still a little bit of an outline. So I'm going to go again, and then I've just been rinsing it off, and I'll obviously give it a proper wash afterwards. I don't know if that is coming up at all, but you can still see a little bit of residue. That sideline's coming up. You can see my white marks. So I'm just going to keep going nice and slowly until I'm pretty happy with it. There are badges going on anyway, so I'll determine if I have to polish it or not, but maybe not. And then we'll move on to these gel inserts. I'm going to move on to the gel badge inlays now. I've probably got this about as good as I'm going to get with the glue tire remover. So what I've decided to do is get a toothpick, because it's going to be soft but pointy, and I dug in there and just lifted that up a bit, and then slowly that should be able to come off. And that little bit of glue that's stuck on there, I'm going to wash that off. When you get these from DMB, the big one is for the back, the little one's for the front. I didn't have any problems with fitment with the last ones that I got. I lined up the corner of the S and the T first, and the rest of it went down the line there and across, and the rest of it just seemed to fall into place. So now that I'm filming, it won't happen like that, but let's give it a go. Make sure your hands are nice and clean. You don't want any dirt or oil getting under the sticker. You can always clean the front of it. So as you can see, if you can line up the top bit, the rest of it should nicely fall into the badge. And then once I've got this one sorted, we'll start on the front. There you have it. Looks good. I like that. The front badge will be very much the same. Get my toothpick. I've already been able to poke it under here and peel it off. I'll clean that up, and then you don't need to see me re-stick the other one. It's exactly the same as the one I just did. To fit these up, I'm going to use some 5 or 6 mil pinstriping tape. It's roughly, that piece is roughly the length of where the badge is, and I just need to line it up with where it's going to look good under the ST. So I'm going to get to doing that. So you can see how good that's going to look. I think I'm just going to move it over just a little bit more to the right. It just looks a little bit off where it is, but when I finally stick it down, the whole Revo Stage 2 will just be over to the right just a little bit. Another job done. What do you guys reckon of the badges? I really like the red and the black. The Revo badges look really nice quality, they look good. DMB Grpahics in England, they've done a really good colour match on the gel badge inlays, and they fit up really nicely as the last ones did as well, so thank you there. MJ Performance in Plymouth, thank you very much for sourcing these badges for me. Revo Australia were waiting on a shipment, and Martin from MJ Performance was able to source these for me quick and get them out. So thank you very much. One more shout out to Tom Clark on Instagram. He was helping me trying to find somewhere to buy them from as well, so thank you. Now people don't think I'm tuned by Mountune. Cheers as always for watching, guys. I hope you liked the video. Let me know if it was useful. If you've watched all the way to the end, type Wurzel Gummidge into the comments. I'm really near 1,000 subscribers as of posting this video. I've got less than 50 to go. So if you regularly watch, then please hit subscribe. There's more to come. Cheers, guys.